I'm going to throw this out there fully in the knowledge that saying things like this almost ensures that it's going to come back and bite me in the backside, probably even later on today. But I think this new taxi PA has solved all the problems we were having last week. 20 to 9, picked him up a little bit early, he doesn't mind, in the taxi, no problem at all positive stuff. Awesome. Morning, by the way. Work time. Hello.
Hello.
What's this?
It's the shoes.
And where do shoes go?
In here.
You know they don't go in here. Come on, let's get the shoes put away, please.
Mum. I'm so happy.
You had a good day?
Yes.
Good. What did you do?
I've been to in here.
I see.
Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap.
Just realised I've got the wrong lens on, which is why I'm so massively zoomed in. But you can still hear that he's clap, 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 clapping. Hardly any notes today. Good day for Andy. He got a gold star for completing work correctly. Good work on your gold star.
Yeah.
What doesn't say what the work was though. Oh, in science. He also worked well in maths and literacy all day on his best behaviour. Oh, I really am massively zoomed in. I need to change my lens. Good work on being on your best behaviour.
Is it inside the cathedral?
We're not going to the cathedral today. We're going to the cathedral at the weekend.
We said it's inside.
Anna's hiding over there because she doesn't want to be on camera. Apparently we're going to the cathedral at the weekend, which I didn't know about.
Yeah, you do.
No one tells me anything. No, it's got Grantham on the thing.
Andrew, you mean Grantham, don't you?
We said it's William Smith.
Andy, where do you want to go on Saturday?
Grantham.
So no cathedral.
Grantham Church.
Grantham Church.
It's a William Smith. Will and Smith.
What is he looking at?
It's William Smith.
It's Goat Simulator, I think.
For the William Smith.
I don't know what Will and Smith is.
Oh yes! Oh there it is.
Oh
yeah.
no, it does say Will the Smith. So there's a blacksmith in Goat Simulator called Will, I guess. But he's got the breathing helmet thing on. So
it's his sweet
he's
shop.
like on the moon.
Grandpa's
In the
sweet
Goat
shop.
Simulator's changed a lot since it was just a silly little throwaway
this
game.
one?
What's that one?
A daddy. It's a daddy that.
Oh yes, what's he doing? Is he making snowballs?
Yeah.
Do you like Goat Simulator?
Yeah. There's this one.
Yeah.
That daddy. Oh, it's that daddy.
You want me to do the same thing he's doing, do you? Okay.
Oh look. Look at daddy goes.
You'd have seen that better if I'd have had the right lens on. I'm a little upset. I'm going to go and change lenses in case anything like that happens again. Apologies about that. We now have the correct lens on. You can guarantee he'll tell me to stop filming now because we can actually see him properly. What are you doing now?
Oh, he's there with this.
Your goat's flying now.
Oh, look.
Back at Will the Smith?
Yes. Yes, daddy.
What does Will the Smith do?
In the long, long feet.
Okay.
This, that,
You going over the bridge now?
Oh, it's William Smith.
It is Will the Smith. What's that tent?
It's the church.
Ah, I see.
The inside.
Who are those people? Who are they?
Cathedral is over there.
Oh, there's a cathedral in your game. Okay.
And an inside.
Should we go inside the cathedral now?
No.
No.
Hola.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
What are they?
Oh. You're going in.
Oh, we are going in.
There we are.
Oh, wow. He's actually inside a church.
Yeah, it's the Goat Simulator MRI.
Wow.
Wow, that was good.
That's the end of the vlog now.
It's not the end of the vlog, because I haven't done any today. But there you go, Goat Simulator. I wasn't expecting today's vlog to be about Goat Simulator, but in all seriousness, because it's a massive open world sandbox game where you can pretty much do anything, go anywhere, he loves it.
It's not online though, it's an MMO, but it's not online.
Yeah, it's they call it Goat Simulator MMO, but it's not an online game. It just plays like an MMO, so plays like a big online multiplayer like World of Warcraft or something like that. It has loads and loads of stuff to do, but he just There you go. He's managed to find a game where he can find a church and go and wander around a church in a game, which I didn't even know he was doing. And that's what he went before when he was asking to go to the cathedral, and we were confused because we know we're going to Grantham at the weekend to take him to a church, but he doesn't want to go to the cathedral. We now know he's talking about the cathedral in Goat Simulator. What a game. Good work, developers of Goat Simulator. Well, for the second day in a row, it's not even 8 o'clock, and he's basically passed out asleep in bed. Anna's just running him a bath now to try and get him clean. He missed out on his bath yesterday because he just took himself off to bed. He went off upstairs probably half an hour ago. He'd been asking for iPhone all evening, which is my old phone we've been trying to get him to use for recording video when we're out and about. So I think he wanted to take that upstairs because we're still on the iPad upstairs ban. So that's helping with his toileting. We've not had much in the way of smearing incidents since he's not been allowed to take his iPad upstairs. He still goes upstairs, but he doesn't spend as much time up there, and he's not as absently minded watching videos while he's up there. So I think it just focuses his mind in a little bit more on not pulling poo out of his bum and smushing it into his bedroom carpet, which is what he does when it's what he did when he was taking his iPad up there. But he asked for the iPhone, which we thought might make a little bit of progress towards getting him to use that to start filming, especially because, as we can see on the date board behind us, we've got quite a few things that he'll want to film over the next week or so. We're going to Grantham to go to the church on Saturday, just so he can have a look around the church. It's his favourite church. He's not been for a little while. We're going to Spalding because he's got a dietitian appointment in Spalding. Yes, that's right, he goes to a dietitian. Those of you who have been questioning his diet, we have been to a dietitian multiple times before. We're doing all we can with food. But we're there again next week just for an update on that. And he's at his respite care as well, and then short stays back following weekend because we're down in London. So it would be nice to move him onto the iPhone, but I think actually what he was trying to do, he was hoping he'd be allowed to take that upstairs. So we got it all charged up for him, gave it to him, and then he tried to take it upstairs and went, no, that's not going up there either. And he just sort of wandered off to bed by himself. And so I don't know if he's going to bed because he's tired, or he's going to bed because he needs that time in his room to sort of decompress and just get the day out of his system, and because there's nothing to distract him, he's going to sleep. So it's something for us to keep an eye on, and keep an eye on it we shall. The other stuff we've got going on at the moment is we've got Andy's social worker coming to see us tomorrow for the first time since he's been back at school. We've met with her at the school as part of the Child in Need meeting, and I've spoken to her on the phone a couple of times, but she's not actually been here to see us, to see him, since probably the last week of August, last week of the summer holidays. So we've got quite a lot of positives. I think it's going to be quite a positive meeting. I'm actually a little bit worried that they might try and discharge us from social services, which for a lot of families who have a negative view of social services, that would probably be exactly what they were trying to achieve. For us, they've been nothing but helpful and supportive all the way through the process, and we want to keep having a social worker forever, because quite apart from anything else, without her we lose out on the respite care that we get, because that's all arranged through social services. That would be worth opening our lives up for social services to nose into anything they want to nose into. But to be honest, as you know, as a fact, we share everything with you like every day anyway. We've got nothing to hide. We've never had a problem with social services getting involved in all the nitty-gritty details of our lives, because we know we do the best we can, and we only have a social worker because we asked for help. I've mentioned it a couple of times before, but the only reason we have a social worker, we applied to get one and were turned down because apparently our need wasn't great enough. And then we applied again and were turned down again because our need still wasn't great enough. And in the end, I think I spoke to some people who I don't want to drop in it, just in case they weren't supposed to give me the advice they gave me, who basically told me to ring up and scream and shout and be quite erratic and, you know, make it seem like I was the kind of person who might need social services intervention. And I had a long row with somebody up in Lincoln over the phone, and eventually they agreed to come out and do an assessment. And once they actually met Andy, they agreed that we did have a need, even though our applications constantly were getting declined, and we ended up getting a social worker. That was about a year ago probably, and the progress he's made in the last year has been phenomenal. If we think back to where he was just a year ago, and I know we started the vlog 10 months ago, so by the time the vlog started we'd already started to turn a corner a little bit. For example, we had time and energy to start a vlog because things had already started to improve, but around about This time last year, maybe a little bit earlier than this, towards the end of summer, Andy had already been off school for nearly a year. He was still refusing to go to school. By that point, he was pretty much refusing to leave the house. I think by that point he'd already, when the last time Anna tried to take him out without me, they'd been in the supermarket together, and he just took off all his clothes and fell to the floor, and I got a phone call from Anna, and I had to drive home from work to basically carry him out of the supermarket into the car, get him home. And that was, it was 20 minutes between the phone call and me getting there, because I had to get out of work. And that was one of the catalysts towards me leaving work, was being available for things like that when they happen. But because of that incident, Anna wasn't taking him out on her own anymore. But we weren't really going out as a family anymore either, because even with two of us there, it was quite difficult to get him to cooperate with anything we wanted him to do. Meltdowns were a multiple time a week occurrence about anything, sometimes about nothing, and they would involve violence. He was quite violent towards Anna a couple of times, hitting her, biting her. She had a number of cuts and bruises and scars from just trying to get him under control during meltdowns, usually when I wasn't around. But he went for me a couple of times. He was in the middle, or just starting off, really, really, really restricting his diet and wasn't really eating anything at all. Weight was starting to fall off him. And we were close to breaking point. And the social worker stepped in and arranged the respite care, which has been massive for allowing us to get a little bit of normality back into life, which does wonders for giving us the energy to deal with the day-to-day. I know the day-to-day isn't as hard now as it was then, but the initial thing that started us down the road of being able to try new ideas and try new techniques and do extra work with him was the fact we could recharge our batteries a couple of times a month, because we'd get that time to ourselves, which you see on the vlog. You saw us have a little bit of time to ourselves at the weekend, and we come back rejuvenated, refreshed, ready to tackle a new week. And that's why we're making so much progress with him. But on top of that, the social worker also arranged for us to be referred through to CAMS to have a mental health assessment, which is where the diagnosis of anxiety alongside his autism came from, which is where the medication led to, and the medications had a massive impact. The social work has been instrumental in helping getting him back to school, and there's still other stuff that she wants to do with us. She referred us through to the dietitian, which is slowly but surely making progress with his diet. We're on a waiting list for I forget what they call it. Can't imagine it is safe handling, but it's basically a course to go on where me and Anna can learn how to safely restrain him, because at the moment we don't know how to. So it doesn't really happen now, because we haven't really had an in public meltdown where we've had to sort of restrain him. But in the past, it's our idea of restraining him has very much been just grab a hold of him and don't let go, and then he ends up with bruises because we don't know what we're doing. So we're on a waiting list for that as well. And it's all massive progress, and we've got the social worker and social services and all the services they've given us access to thank for the progress that Andy's been able to make, the progress we've been able to make. And if you'd have offered us a year ago to put us in the situation we're in now, where Anna's been able to go back to uni, I've been able to leave work, Andy's started going back to school, he's back at a safe weight again, he's able to leave the house to go to respite care, he's able to go out and about with us as a family or individually, we've had days out at the theme park, we've been on holiday. We would not have believed you a year ago that would be possible by now. So for anyone who's, I don't want to sound too preachy, I know some people do have bad experiences with social services for whatever reason, but I will defend them massively for people who just have an irrational dislike of them for no real reason other than the fact that EastEnders have taught them that they should be afraid to have their kids taken off them, because that's just not what happens at all. Because the one big thing through all of this, when we openly held our hands up and said, we don't know what to do, we need help, we're stuck, we have no idea, we're at the end of our tether, at no point was there ever a threat that they were going to take him off us. They've just been supportive, they've worked with us, and it's been a very positive experience. So good work, social services. That wasn't where today's vlog was supposed to be going. How did that happen? It'll do. If you have enjoyed today's vlog, please make sure you pop a like on there for us. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.